Alrighty. Everyone's favorite iPhone recording, cheek blushing, tear crying, foot stomping Zach is back with a new EP, a new sound, and not only is it awesome, but it is time to talk about it. If for whatever reason you don't know who Zach Bryan is, he's a 24-year-old in the US Navy who absolutely blew up in recent years with these incredibly emotional, vulnerable, heartbreaking, and heartwarming songs he posted on YouTube. The catch was there was no production whatsoever. He blew up simply off of iPhone recordings of tracks like Headin' South and Condemned, and it was Zach's burning passion and emotion that he exerted in his videos that really got fans on board quickly. He released his debut album, Deanne, in 2019, and it was nothing more than Zach, his guitar, and the odd friend or two recorded with a single microphone and a mattress for a sound booth. The result was this acoustic, lo-fi masterpiece that really connected with people. Songs like Snow, Godspeed, Shivers Down Spines, and so many more were just perfect ballads. They didn't need the production. 2020 rolled along and Zach kept the train moving, still releasing videos consistently on YouTube, but now with a real following behind him after the success of Deanne. During lockdown and right before he was sent away on deployment, he released Elizabeth, his sophomore album. Elizabeth was mixed for me. Personally, I view Elizabeth as growing pains for Zach's career. The songwriting and outright poetry was still absolutely there, but the production is where we saw this idea of growing pains. To begin, the album was 18 tracks and 64 minutes, which in my humble opinion is too long for such a lo-fi project. Whereas Deanne was 12 tracks and 39 minutes, there's only so many chords on an acoustic guitar that can hold their own without anything else. Elizabeth was recorded in a makeshift studio with Zach's friends, and to my knowledge, what was a barn. It included more harmonizing parts and percussion as well as backup instruments to carry different melodies, and though I respect what Zach was going for, and he did it quite well given what he was working with, it just didn't come together as nicely as Deanne. The majority of the shortcomings was in the production, where the mixes just weren't great. Lots of the songs were still acoustic, but when he tried to expand the instrumental palette, it just fell short simply due to quality. With Deanne, there wasn't much that could go wrong with a guitar and a voice, but when you throw in other instruments without proper equipment, sometimes the result can come out as sloppy. Am I saying Elizabeth was bad? Not by any means. I still think it's a fantastic record, and actually an important one, because moving forward we can see this progression in Zach's sound. Elizabeth is like a bridge into this new studio Zach Bryan, and that is where we find ourselves today. The release of his new 6-track EP, Quiet Heavy Dreams. I believe Zach worked with Dave Cobb, and you can hear the real step up in quality. Zach is obviously signed to a label now and has made it clear he's moving on from the homemade Friends in Van production, and though a lot of people, including myself, were bummed, it's just the next step in Zach's career, and our first taste of this new Zach Bryan is here. I was never concerned this would be overproduced or poppy. That's simply not Zach. So before you worry if he's going down a route like Kane Brown did, I can assure you that is not the case. As far as I'm concerned, Quiet Heavy Dreams is what parts of Elizabeth were trying to be. It's the same incredible songwriting. All we've done is polish the production without adding any fat to it, and it's really freaking good. The EP opens up with Let You Down, which I really like. It opens with a fiddle solo and an acoustic before Zach's voice comes in for the first verse. I'm not sure what they did, but they picked up Zach's voice really well while still somehow keeping that lo-fi effect on his voice. The harmonizing vocal is balanced much nicer than previous attempts, and it's just a great tune. We get an upright bass later in the song, and some really nice percussion to just keep the song moving along. Content-wise, it's a very Zach Bryan song, references to substance abuse, and talking to his significant other, saying, "You can forgive me, but just know I'll keep letting you down even if I don't want to." There's one line I absolutely love, "But my past lives inside me and it branched out from my liver." That line really sums up Zach in how he's able to just take anything and make it so much more poetic and thoughtful. It's really what separates him from the pack. Following is Crooked Teeth. I'm going to get this out of the way. This is my favorite track. It's an absolute jam. The first time I heard it, I was so pumped. It's the first quite produced song by Zach in the sense that you really feel heavy percussion and an abundance of background vocals, but they're still expertly mixed and constructed. It puts you in indie heaven. The song has an excellent build. The claps transition into the real percussion, and it gives off some real imaginary Appalachia vibes. Tambourines, claps, kicks, and snares with badass upright bass and acoustic riffs. I'm just so happy this song exists. From what I've seen, it would appear November Air and Traveling Man are the fan favorites, but Crooked Teeth is one of my favorite songs Zach has ever put out. From there we move into November Air, which sounds much more Deanne. acoustic picking where you can hear the mistakes or dead strings until we get these beautiful bass plucks and string builds during the chorus. Can't say I'm as big about the harmonies in the verses. I don't mind it at all in the chorus, but I feel Zach should have kept the verses to himself. A slight rhythm change in the chorus also just keeps the track really fresh. I love the melody lines in the chorus. It just feels so rich and pure. Birmingham puts Zach's penmanship on full display. Talking about a man running away after killing someone and just pondering what the future has for him. It's lines like sucking the earth dry of crude that really just make you pause and appreciate the thought and skill put forth towards this project. Similar to Crooked Teeth with the big group vocals, I'm normally not a fan of all the O's and whatnot to fill in a transition, but this way of doing it just feels much more intentional and less of an afterthought. Track 5 is Traveling Man, which, as I said, seems to be a fan favorite. It opens up with this gorgeous harmonica solo, and I just want to point out the funky rhythm and how the chord progression follows suit. It just mixes up the project and keeps it feeling new and fresh. The drums are introduced in the second verse, and it's just such a chills moment, at least for me, because it's just a symbol of progression in Zach's career. Gorgeous harmonies, gorgeous lyrics about how everyone's running from their insides, the mix, the arrangement of the instruments and how they go back and forth. It's constructed with precision and care. Overall, a deserving fan favorite, but I will support Crooked Teeth until I die. And just like that, we are on the concluding track, the title track, Quiet Heavy Dreams. It's a pretty little acoustic tune. I'm not 100% yet, but I'm led to believe it's simply about dreaming and wanting a place to escape from the world, where the love of his life is, where peace and all that jazz is. It's the one tune on the album that features no backup vocals or instruments, just Zach and his guitar, the two things that got us to where we are today, and I think it's a sweet, sentimental ending to a phenomenal project. So, overall, I am buzzing with excitement for what's next. I was concerned I would miss the old Zach Bryan, especially knowing he's basically said he's moving on from iPhones and mattresses, but Quiet Heavy Dreams is everything good about Zach Bryan, combined with improved versions of his shortcomings. It's just the best of Zach Bryan in every aspect. Overall rating-wise, I would give this EP an 8. There's definitely still room to improve and musical alleys Zach is yet to explore, but this EP really just shows how much potential Zach has moving forward. There's not really much to say other than I love it, and I'm pumped to see where Zach goes. So, yeah, other than that, I think I've said everything I needed to say. So, yeah, have a great day.